What's up, everybody, and welcome back to All the Things Sword of Truth, the alcohol-fueled chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with a sack full of craft brew on the side.
What was that?
A sack full.
Oh, yes. Yes, sack full.
Yeah, it's a... Well, at least we have beer.
Yes.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade.
And this week, we're going to be talking about Chapter 47 of Wizard's First Rule.
Yes, we are.
And it is a long one, so I think we're going to just get right into it.
Yes. And in case you've forgotten which chapter this one is, it's the one where Zedd and Kahlan and Chase have a ball with Nasty Nass. And then Kahlan learns a new trick.
Yeah, neat trick. Neat trick. All right, well, let's get into it.
So the chapter opens and Zedd is laying under the stars. He's thinking about everything that's been going on, how the world's turned upside down in like a real short period of time, and he can't really do a whole lot about it. Chase is on watch and Kahlan is laying nearby.
Yeah, and part of what he's thinking about is the box and how it's finally safe with the Westland Army, with Michael, and it's taken care of. Dark and Rawl is going to die. They just need to wait it out. 3 more days, as we find later in this chapter.
Right, but he is going to Dahara anyways. He's not going to just sit and wait it out because they have to go get Richard back, because Darkin is going to kill Richard if they don't get him out of there before that. That's what Zedd, at least, is thinking.
Well, I mean, they don't know the details between Dark and Rawl and Richard.
Not even a little bit.
Right. All they saw of Richard was Dark and Rawl flailing around and not making any sense.
Yeah.
So they don't know that Dark and Rawl had ever mentioned, we're going to let you go.
All they know is that Dark and Rawl was really fucking weird yesterday.
Yeah.
And he had Richard's sword, which has implications of all sorts of things.
Right. And I mean, Richard's your friend, so you're going to go because it's your friend.
Yeah.
It's just what you do. Plus, save the world and all that stuff. But, he's your friend.
But Zedd is worried about how Darkin got the sword. If he killed Richard for it, why the fuck was he wearing it in the first place? He has magic. He doesn't need a sword. And he knows that he shouldn't have even tried to hurt him with the finger pain when he saw him, because wizards, like you were talking about, go through the trials of pain.
Yeah.
So they can withstand that. So he knew that Darkin was not going to be affected by that, but he had to try something.
Right. I mean, you do anything you can, but it's because Richard was with the Mordsith that he was able to handle that.
Right.
Something would have been up to Zedd if he had touched Dark and Rawl with the pain and dropped him to his knees. Something is really wrong here. But since that didn't happen, he totally believes that was Dark and Rawl.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, that makes sense. But had he crumbled into a fetal position on the ground, right. Something's weird.
And cried and sucked his thumb. Or no, he would have licked his fingertips. He would have done that. It would have been a little weird. Yeah.
Zedd is also super confused about the whole thing with Kahlan and the sword. Because again, he could have murdered them all with his magic. He doesn't need the sword, but he pulled the sword and he turned it white.
Yeah, he pulled the sword and then didn't use it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they all ended up alive. And he turned the sword white, which is something that is not okay.
Right.
Because of the prophecy.
Right. Because the prophecy says the only person who can, fix the veil after it's torn is going to be the person who can turn the blade white. And if that's Dark and Rawl, well, he doesn't really have any good reason to want to do that. So he won't. And then there will be, openings between the world of the living and the dead permanently, or...
Yeah, the underworld will, flow into the world of the living. Yeah,
it's gonna be
awesome.
Really bad. So we don't want that.
But he also realizes that Dark and Rawl being an agent of the underworld, which is what the prophecy kind of talks about, kind of implies that no matter what Richard does in this situation, the the veil is going to be torn. It's not if we stop Raw, we'll be okay. No matter what, the box is being opened, it's going to fuck some stuff up. So that's good to note.
So basically, either way, we're all screwed.
Yeah, there's going to be a problem in the end of this.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be bad for everybody. But Zedd is there, and he's just kind of contemplating life right now, and he's looking over at Kahlan, and he feels bad for her.
Right. He is also keeping something from her, which he hasn't told the reader yet either. He's sad about something he can't fill her in on just yet, apparently, and he's feeling bad for Richard. He's just a big bag of bad feelings right now. Nothing's ever easy.
So like we said, he's there contemplating life, and he suddenly realizes that Chase should have been back by now, but he's not. So he tells Kahlan, hey, I think something's up. Nothing is going to stop Chase from, reporting back. I would guarantee it.
Yeah.
So if he's late, something happened.
Yeah, and Kahlan's like, hey, can you feel him out there somewhere? And yeah, there's also, people who have been touched by the underworld, so we should probably be on alert.
Yeah. So for sure, something happened.
Yeah. Something's up. As they're realizing this, Chase is, shoved onto the ground in front of them. He's all bound and bloody. He's been through some stiff.
Yeah, and who other than Nasty Nass himself comes out.
Surprise!
Yay! Now, he's saying that Chase has killed 5 of his men. And Demon's like, so he'll be killed after the remaining of my men do what they want to Kahlan. And he's going to watch that.
Okay, and so this is Demon and the 2 quads that Darkin sent after Kahlan.
Right, a total of 9 men.
And Chase just killed 5 of them.
He got 5
right
of
off
them. Now, I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
Chase is good at what he does, but I was even more impressed with it after I realized that he took 9 guys on at once.
Yeah, because the other 3 guys, when they come out, are sweaty and tired. It wasn't an easy fought battle.
My guess is they ran away after the other 5 were killed. Because there was 9, he got 5. That's 5 out of the 8 guys from the quads. And then there's Dem and Nas. So there's 4 guys total remaining yet. So those 3 guys have already been fighting with Chase and just got away from him. They got away while he killed the other 5.
They got out of his reach and then were able to reconvene and get him subdued.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I meant. He fought 9 people.
Yeah.
He killed 5 of those people. Over half.
Yeah.
They got him, but he killed over half of them. Fighting 9 people at once. That's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, now you know why Richard respected Chase.
That is a good person to have as a friend.
At this point, though, I think now that they have Chase under control, the other guys are super sure of their position, and Zedd is super irritated by their confidence in the situation.
Yeah. So Kahlan asks what happened to Richard, and Demon goes, hey, it's not your business. Don't worry about it. You've got bigger problems right now. Your problem right now is what my men are going to do to you. And Zedd at this point was like, okay, obvious perceived threat. Now it's been upgraded to an audible threat. I'm tired of this. Fuck off. Middle finger rockets. I'm going to shoot a paralysis web at you. But too late, he realizes that they're protected with magic. And the paralysis web fires back at him. Now, is that the thing that he was sensing earlier?
Yeah, which I thought it was a little bit funny because he's like, these regular men apparently were touched by the underworld and he didn't even consider that maybe there's going to be a rebound effect. But also, I thought it was interesting that he went for a paralysis web instead of something
more permanent?
Yeah, that would kill them.
Yeah.
So,
fuck, even Wizard's Fire.
Yeah.
That's been a trusty go-to. Maybe he's off the Wizard's Fire right now because he tried it on Richard and Richard turned it back, even though it was dark and raw. So he's like, all right, maybe that's not my best trick. I'll try something else.
I just thought it was like a very convenient thing that he didn't try to kill them and accidentally kill himself.
Oh, yeah.
So after that, Kahlan decides, okay, I got this shit. I'm just going to put my hand on him. I'm going to take him with my power. Bloop. Except it didn't work. And she's immediately in a bad position.
Yeah. Well, and Zedd recognizes it too by the look on her face. He's like, oh shit. That was supposed to be a thing that didn't happen.
Oh, that didn't work.
Of course, Demon, he is going to get the advantage. He grabs her arm, twists it around, and fucking breaks it.
Yeah, this is when the beginning of the brutality starts for this chapter. There's quite a bit.
Yes, yeah, there really is.
I don't know if you remember or not. I'm going to keep drinking more.
I mean, we've alluded to this before. When Terry gets descriptive with when people die, he goes all the way. I mean, I'll say this. I got my mom to read a few of the books of the series so far, and she did enjoy them. She really likes Richard and Kahlan, but it's these parts in these books that she's like, I don't like reading that. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to read through it. I'm like, okay, I can't blame you for that. It is a lot, but you don't get this from a lot of books. You don't get this in like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
This is a very visceral part of the book. And for who this guy is, he's totally deserving of it. It's just hard to read.
Right. Well, also the stuff with Kahlan is hard too. But I mean, it's real life. That's why he put it in there the way he did.
Oh,
This
absolutely. Yeah, and I'm not also saying that it's not warranted. This is graphic. It is very, very graphic. It's not your typical fantasy story where like, and then he cut off his head and that was it. Like, no, it's real, man.
I think a lot of times though, when you think back on this chapter, you forget about the shit that happens to Kahlan right before the shit that happens to Demon.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my god, that's so crazy. But yeah, it's all pretty bad. After Demon breaks her arm pretty abruptly, she keeps her head about her way more than I would if someone just shattered my arm. She goes to her knees and then she comes back up with her knife and stabs his ass.
Yeah, it's almost as if she was ready for it.
Yeah.
I mean, she was so fast in getting the knife, which good for her.
Yeah.
Fucking A. She pays for it though, and he backhands her a few times, and that's when he says, look, you're not my type. And we all know what exactly his type is. He's like, but I'll enjoy watching them do what they want to do to you. Just make sure, wiggle a little bit for me. Because, again, he likes to watch people squirm, which, gross. So his goons grab her, of course, and they toss her around between them, and they laugh at her, and, of course, they start ripping off her clothes. And then, one of them pulls on her arm, like, what the fuck? It's immediately just making it worse. Ugh, I hate that so much. And fuck, Zedd's just there. He's watching it all go down. And he almost wishes that she would maybe not just calm down and accept it, but he was wishing that she wouldn't fight quite so hard so they would go a little easier on her.
Yeah. Hold on. Before I make the next point that goes with what you were just saying, did you call them goons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're goons, man. They don't you can't think for yourself and do something like this. So
you don't often hear that word, I think, in common conversations.
Yeah,
so
they're goons.
They're goons. Okay.
They're goons.
But yeah, Zedd has seen something very similar to this before. He's seen this happen before. He knows that confessors don't go down without a fight, but he doesn't want to watch it. He tried as hard as he could to get away from his own web on him, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to see it one way or another. So if that means him breaking out of this web and murdering everybody in the vicinity, then fine.
Right, but he can't.
Well, no, he can't. That's the problem.